The knock on the door was loud and demanding. "Come in, please," said Dr. Gregoris Marcantonus. Come in, take a seat. Would you like a cold drink?" Stephanos was anxious to get down to business and discuss the new trial with Dr. Marcantonus, but he accepted the kind offer of some cold water. "Now, what have you come to discuss with me?" Dr. Marcantonus asked. "I've got another vaccine study, as you know already, and I have just stopped by to see if you were interested in taking this one on," said Stephanos. "Can we go into a bit more detail?" asked Dr. Marcantonus. Stephanos reached inside his briefcase for the trial protocol. "It's all here in the protocol," he said. "Have you had time to go through the one I sent you earlier?" "Oh, yes, said Dr. Marcantonus. "But I just want to briefly go through the protocol with you again before I submit it to the EC for their review." Stephanos turned to the synopsis of the protocol. "Let's see now. We are looking for babies for this trial, and they must be between 12 and 18 months. Dr. Marcantonus replied, "It might be a bit difficult persuading the mothers to allow their infants to participate, but I have an excellent research nurse who has a lot of experience in these types of studies." Both Stephanos and Dr. Marcantonus continued to review the rest of the synopsis of the protocol together. Finally, Dr. Marcantonus said, "I'll submit the application to the EC in time for the next meeting. I have checked the informed consent documentation and it appears fine to me. I will be in touch once I have received a reply from them." Dr. Marcantonus is going to be the investigator of a vaccine trial involving healthy infants of 12 to 18 months of age. In the EC review, members of the committee initially discussed the ethical aspects of conducting vaccine trials in infants, not adults. One of the EC members is a specialist in infectious diseases, and she makes it clear that the vaccine trials are most commonly conducted in infants or children since they serve as the target population. Therefore, it would be an ethical problem not to include infants or children in such vaccine trials. The second issue raised is related to the vulnerability of the participants and the informed consent process. The EC chair reads from the EC's standard operating procedure. Because children cannot legally provide for consent for research on their own behalf, permission by at least one parent or legal guardian is required prior to enrollment of a minor in a research study. 1. Research involving no more than minimal risk requires permission from at least one parent or guardian. 2. Research that involves more than minimal risk but presents the prospect of direct benefit to individual participant requires permission from at least one parent or guardian. 3. Research that involves more than minimal risk and presents the prospect of no direct benefit to individual participants, but generalizable knowledge, societal benefit, requires permission from both parents. 4. Research that presents an opportunity to understand, prevent, or alleviate a serious problem affecting the health or welfare of children, but does not provide direct benefit to the subject or societal indirect benefit, requires permission from both parents. The EC decides to approve the application. Since all members agree that the research in question involves more than minimal risk, but presents the prospect of direct benefit to individual participants, the EC determines permission from at least one parent guardian is sufficient. Note: children are considered a vulnerable research population because their intellectual and emotional capacities are limited, and they are therefore legally incompetent to give valid informed consent.